Some man a general. If you get the youths, man a godfather, man a general. Think on 9 lives, brand new. Man a general. God of peace, angel of death. If you get the youth, don't fret. From you have life, you have everything. Them couldn't stop my brain, can't take my life. They love me so, can't take my soul. I'm going back for everything I know. I'm unstoppable.
How do you feel about the current situation in Kingston with the effects of the extradition of the brothers?
Well, I think it's unfortunate because whenever black people are killing each other and nobody's looking out for us, and if we don't look out for each other, then who the hell is going to look out for us? So I just think it's unfortunate that this is going on right now at a time like this, and I just think what's happening right now doesn't make sense, and I think it should stop.
How do you feel about the current situation that's happening in Jamaica right now with the extradition of daughters?
I don't know. I kind of have mixed emotions about it. I kind of feel like it's unnecessary to, go around and be killing people. I also feel that it could have been handled in a different way. Instead of so much force, it could have just been handled with communication and stuff. Instead of innocent people that end up getting involved. And those innocent people are getting hurt over it, so I kind of feel like they could have went about it in a different way that was more political, and instead of just going around like crazy people shooting everything.
So you're familiar with the situation currently going on in Kingston, Jamaica right now?
Yes.
Okay. So do you care to shed some light on your opinions about what's going on right now with the violence and the whole outcome of the extradition of daughters?
I think that it's bad, that what's going on there is unfortunate, that it shouldn't be happening, but unfortunately things tend to not work out all the time. Honestly, I think that it's sad that the amount of people that are dying are actually dying and that there's nothing that the government's really doing about it. But as far as out here, there's not much we can do. It's going to continue whether we want it to or not.
What are your views on the current situation that's happening in Kingston, Jamaica right now due to the extradition of daughters?
Well, I don't like the violence. I don't like that all those people have been killed, and I have family in Jamaica. They're not really, just a few of them are from Kingston town, but that whole business is affecting the whole island because it's interfering with tourism, and the Jamaican country relies heavily on tourist dollars. So, and things are really bad. Things were bad before this happened, so things are going to be really, really bad. But on the flip side, the thing is that this guy who is involved with the drug trade and has done so many bad things, he has taken blood money and he has given to the poor, so to speak. So a lot of people that wouldn't be able to make money otherwise, this is how they're surviving. This is how they're feeding their kids. I don't agree with it, but if I was I don't know how I would be. I have a child, and if this guy was making it possible for my child to go to school or for my child to have food in their belly and a roof over their head, as a mother, in a really desperate situation, I might even be inclined to want to support this guy. So it's a real mess down there, because when he leaves and these people's lifeline gets cut, we're going to see this country go to probably the status of what Haiti was before the earthquake, before the natural disaster. So.
Do you support the Prime Minister's decision in signing the extradition papers so many months later?
Yeah. I agree with it. Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
So do you support the Prime Minister's decision in signing the extradition papers so many months later, after they said they weren't going to do it, or after they were undecided about doing it?
I feel like I'm against it, because if you weren't sure if you wanted to do it in the first place, you should just left it. And the fact that you're doing it months later, years later, makes no sense. You could have thought about it a little longer. If it took you that long to sign the papers, then why not just not do it at all? because clearly had some issues with it. But
As much trouble in Jamaica as much as he would in the U.S. But I don't know. I guess because the fact he's never been to the U.S. or hasn't any connection to the U.S., it's kind of wrong. But at the same time, I agree with what he did.
Well, so, next question. What's the next question? Right. So, do you support the Prime Minister's decision on signing the extradition paper? And if so, do you support it even though it was so many months later?
I do. I've been trying to research this whole thing. I've been trying to figure out why they didn't allow the U.S. to have him extradited in the first place. Once again, I think it's probably because this guy, you know, he did a lot of financial backing of this particular political party. So there's all this politics involved as well. You know, money. We know what money does to even the best of people. I think this guy has to go. He has to pay for what he's done. He's dealing with some drugs that ruin lives, and a lot of people have died. It's time. You know, we can't let one man allow for hundreds of people to die. It's not fair.
So, how do you feel about the outcome now that over almost nearly 100 people are dead, and the police were found in Maypen Cemetery hiding bodies, and they only found 6 guns?
Oh, well, I didn't know that's what happened. If that's the case, if that's what really happened, then I'm also against that. Anything where the government is doing things behind the civilians' backs, I think that they should be discovered, and I think that they should be taken out. When I say taken out, I don't mean necessarily be killed, but I mean like taken out of power. You know, anything where they deceive the civilians, I just think that they should not be in power.
So what do you have to say about the fact that the Jamaican security force was found basically hiding bodies by the media in Maypen Cemetery, and the fact that nearly over 100 people are killed since that event happened, and the security forces only found 6 guns?
I feel like they're not doing their job. They're not looking hard enough. And the fact that you're hiding bodies means you know that the situation is wrong. And most of those people that were found, like the bodies that they're hiding and stuff, are innocent people. And, you know, they didn't have to get involved in that. And the reason that they're hiding it is because they know that they're innocent people. And they're killing people's mothers and fathers, you know, sisters, brothers, aunts, cousins, whatever the case may be. And the fact that they're hiding them, they know that it's wrong. So,
what do you have to say about the fact that the Jamaican security force was found in Maypen Cemetery, basically hiding bodies, and they were found by the Jamaican news reporters, and that there has been well over 100 murders since the time of the extradition was announced? It was announced that the Prime Minister has signed it, and they only found 6 guns with all those dead bodies that they claim to have been supporters of Duddas and criminals and gunmen.
I think the fact that that much people have died is unfortunate and sad and wrong. And I feel bad, and I put my heart out to all those people who have to go through all of that. But the fact that it's happening is a fact, right? There's nothing we can do about it. Those people are all gone. We can only hope for the best and hope that everybody who's involved just realizes that what they're doing is wrong.
Alright, but can I talk about the fact that the security forces killed so many people, saying that these guys were all gunmen, and all of the 100-something people that were killed, kids were killed, ladies were killed, innocent men were killed, and they only found 6 guns out of all 100 people that were killed?
That sounds kind of like fishy to me. There should have been more guns that have shown up than just 6. And the fact that so many kids and women and men have died and only 6 guns have shown up is just not clicking to me. It doesn't sound right. So there obviously is something else going on that the media is not showing, or that the people know and they're not telling. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. But I need to find my keys.
Okay. What do you have anything to speak of due to the outcome, which is the Jamaican security force was found in Maypen Cemetery hiding bodies and burying bodies by other Jamaican news reporters, and they were only reporting that there was about 70 to 100 murders, but there's well over 100 murders now, and they only found 6 weapons, 6 guns.
See, I actually didn't even know that, and my father's family is from Maypen. I spent a lot of time as a kid in Maypen. I didn't realize that, and hiding bodies in a cemetery is the same as desecrating a cemetery. So my grandfather and my grandmother are buried in the Maypen cemetery, and that, you know, if you once again, it's one man, and all of this wickedness and all of these wrongdoings are being done just to protect this one man. It's out of control. He has to leave. He has to face the consequences, and at the very least, it's about time. With my limited knowledge of the politics in Jamaica, my father was heavily involved when I was a kid, so I know a little bit. It's about time to see that Jamaica is finally trying to clean up their political system. It can't continue to run with the corruption that it does. That for real.
All right. You have anything else to say to the Jamaican people?
God bless. Stay strong, and the righteous way will always prevail. Just be strong and help each other out when this is all done. You're going to need to help each other out.
I don't know. Every hard time has, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. It may take long, but just gotta hold on, I guess.